Have you ever stood under a starry night sky and felt simultaneously insignificant and incredibly important? Most people experience this paradox but never understand why, until now. What if I told you that this exact feeling was perfectly explained 3,000 years ago, in a way that reveals the most mind-blowing truth about human existence? Tonight, millions of people will look up at the stars and feel small and meaningless, but they'll never discover the ancient secret that transforms that feeling into unshakable confidence about their cosmic importance. Scientists estimate there are over 100 billion galaxies in the observable universe, each containing billions of stars. Yet you're about to learn why one ancient king believed that humans are the most significant beings in all of creation. This isn't just English vocabulary. This is the answer to humanity's deepest question about our place in the universe. And by the end, you'll understand why you matter more than you ever imagined. David opens Psalm 8 with one of the most majestic declarations in all literature. O Lord, our Lord, your majestic name fills the earth. Your glory is higher than the heavens. Notice the powerful repetition. O Lord, our Lord, which uses two different Hebrew names for God to emphasize both transcendence and intimacy. The word majestic describes royal grandeur and overwhelming dignity. When something is truly majestic, it inspires awe and reverence, like standing before a magnificent mountain range or witnessing a perfect sunset. The phrase fills the earth suggests complete saturation. God's reputation and character don't just exist on earth. They saturate every corner of it. When something fills a space, it occupies every available area, leaving no emptiness. The comparison higher than the heavens uses spatial language to describe something beyond physical measurement. In English, when we say something is higher than something else, we're not just talking about altitude but about superiority and transcendence. David makes a surprising observation about God's power revealed through weakness. You have taught children and infants to tell of your strength, silencing your enemies and all who oppose you. The contrast between children and infants and enemies is deliberately shocking. In English, when we say someone is taught something, we mean they've learned through instruction or experience. But here, even babies somehow communicate God's power. The word strength refers to power and might, not just physical force but authority and capability. The phrase silencing your enemies uses the image of making opponents speechless. When someone is silenced, they're rendered unable to speak or argue. Their objections become meaningless. David is saying that the simple existence and wonder of children somehow defeats the arguments of those who oppose God. This teaches us that sometimes the most profound truths are communicated not through complex arguments but through simple, obvious realities. Now David shifts to cosmic contemplation. When I look at the night sky and see the work of your fingers, the moon and the stars you set in place. The phrase, when I look at, introduces a specific moment of observation and reflection. David isn't just glancing casually, but deliberately observing and thinking deeply. The beautiful metaphor, work of your fingers, presents the universe as divine craftsmanship. When we talk about finger work, we mean delicate, detailed, artistic creation, like a watchmaker assembling tiny components or an artist creating intricate designs. The phrase set in place suggests intentional positioning and design. When something is set in place, it's deliberately positioned for a specific purpose, like arranging furniture in a room or placing pieces on a chessboard. David sees the night sky not as random cosmic accidents, but as carefully planned divine architecture. This cosmic perspective leads to David's central question. What are mere mortals that you should think about them? Human beings that you should care for them? This is one of the most profound questions ever asked about human significance. The phrase mere mortals emphasizes human limitations. We're not gods or angels but finite, fragile beings who will eventually die. The word mortals comes from the Latin word for death, reminding us of our temporary existence. The question, what are, implies insignificance. In the face of cosmic immensity, what importance could humans possibly have? The phrase, you should think about them, uses language of mental attention and consideration. When someone thinks about you, they keep you in their mind and care about your welfare. The parallel question about God caring for humans uses even stronger language. Care for implies active concern and involvement, like a parent caring for children. But David's answer is absolutely revolutionary. Yet you made them only a little lower than God and crowned them with glory and honor. The word yet creates a dramatic contrast. Despite human smallness in cosmic terms, God has given humans incredible dignity. The phrase, only a little lower than God, is one of the most astounding statements about human nature ever written. In the original Hebrew, this could be translated as a little lower than the angels, or a little lower than God himself. Either way, it places humans in an incredibly exalted position in creation. The word crowned uses royal imagery. When someone is crowned, they're officially given authority and honor, like a coronation ceremony for a new king or queen. The words glory and honor describe the highest possible human status. Glory refers to magnificent reputation and splendor, while honor means respect and high esteem. David explains this remarkable human status. You gave them charge of everything you made, putting all things under their authority. The phrase gave them charge uses language of official appointment and responsibility. When someone is given charge of something, they become responsible for managing and caring for it, like being put in charge of a department or organization. The scope is breathtaking. Everything you made includes all of creation. The phrase putting all things under their authority uses hierarchical language. When something is under someone's authority, that person has the right and responsibility to govern and direct it. In English, we understand authority as both power and accountability. Those in authority can make decisions, but they're also responsible for the consequences. David provides specific examples of human dominion: the flocks and the herds and all the wild animals, the birds in the sky, the fish in the sea, and everything that swims the ocean currents. This comprehensive list covers domestic animals, flocks and herds, wild land animals, aerial creatures, birds in the sky, and aquatic life. The phrase flocks and herds refers to domestic animals like sheep, goats, and cattle that humans have domesticated for food, clothing, and labor. Wild animals includes all the untamed creatures that humans haven't domesticated but still have responsibility to manage wisely. Birds in the sky encompasses all flying creatures, while fish in the sea covers marine life. The phrase, everything that swims the ocean currents, includes all aquatic creatures, even those in the deepest parts of the ocean that humans rarely see. David concludes by returning to his opening declaration, "O Lord, our Lord, your majestic name fills the earth." This repetition creates what we call a literary bracket or inclusion. The psalm begins and ends with the same statement, emphasizing its central theme. The repetition also shows that David's cosmic meditation hasn't diminished his awe at God's majesty, but has actually increased it. After contemplating human significance, David is even more impressed with God's character and reputation. This teaches us that understanding our own importance doesn't make us proud or independent, but actually increases our wonder at the God who created us with such dignity. This psalm reveals the secret I mentioned at the beginning, the paradox of feeling simultaneously small and significant under the night sky. David shows us that this feeling is absolutely correct. We are small in cosmic terms, tiny specks on a small planet in a vast universe. But we're also incredibly significant because we're made in God's image and given authority over all creation. We're not just random accidents in a meaningless universe, but carefully designed beings with cosmic importance and responsibility. When you look at the stars tonight, remember that you're not just a tiny, insignificant creature lost in space. You're a being made only a little lower than God himself, crowned with glory and honor, and given charge over everything God made. The same God who created billions of galaxies thinks about you personally and cares for you individually. That's not just vocabulary learning. That's the most important truth about human existence. And it changes everything about how you see yourself and your place in the universe.